Hey, what's up, everyone? Larry Dingleberry back at it again. Well, ambush is finally over, and let me tell you, Larry did pretty good for himself. That's right, we did pretty nice over here. I was able to acquire all of the masks as well as all of the gear sets with multiples to spare for the most part, so I did really good, and as well as I hope you did too. And I'm really excited to be bringing you new videos on all those new sets. So if you enjoy these videos, if you find them helpful in any way, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content. That really does help out the channel a lot, and leave a comment down there. Let me know what you're thinking about all these new sets. Now, really quick, I'm just going to say, at the end of the video, stay tuned for a short clip. I'm just going to be running through the first handful of NPCs at Lexington, showing you how I get all of my skills and talents to proc and just give me more sustainability as well as firepower. So stick around for that, and other than that, let's get into the build. But first, I would just like to skim over the pros and cons really quick. Alright guys, now that we have that out of the way, how about we actually take a look at the build, how I have everything lined up pretty nice so everything kind of complements each other and you can maximize your survivability as well as damage output. The skills and talents I'm going to be using is basically just the Recon Pack Pulse because of the crit hit chance and the cooldown time. It has a higher crit chance and a lower cooldown time than the rest of the pulses, so I'll be using that. Keep your eye on that 13.5% there. 13.5% crit hit chance on that pulse. Just put that number in the back of your head and I'll show you why in just a minute. Now, the overdose, you could go with the booster shot, whatever you'd like, but I'll just be using the overdose. And as far as signatures go, well, I mean, we're going to be getting all of them, right? So that doesn't matter. Pretty easy. Moving on to talents. I really recommend Adrenaline and Critical Save, really for any build, I guess you could say, but this one especially because we're trying to get as much buffs for damage resistance and immunity, all that good stuff as possible because we are pretty squishy. So these two in combination, Adrenaline, Medkit now gives 7 seconds of immunity from status effect, awesome. Combined with this, using a Medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. So again, you get 20% resistance for, I mean, that's great. That's awesome. And that could mean life or death in on this build. Once you get into it, you'll know what I mean. Which brings me to on the move. Kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 15% for 10 seconds. That's huge. That's another big buff. You're always going to be trying to kill people, even more so with this build, right? So that you get your signatures to pop. And when you do so, you get a damage reduction. That's awesome. I mean, almost a must-have, I'd say, for this build. And as far as one is none, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I'm a fan of this one. Headshot a hostile to have a 50% chance of not consuming the bullet. On a build that basically revolves around using one weapon class, this is huge for saving that ammo, and you'd be surprised how far this actually does go for you. If you haven't tried it, check it out. But really, that's about it. I mean, as far as that goes. Now, really quick, I just like to show you the character sheet for a couple different little reasons, but mainly this one here. Sitting at 55% crit hit chance. 55%. I'd say that's pretty good, huh? I mean, that's not bad. With that pulse that we have 13.5%, now all of a sudden we're sitting at 68.5% crit hit chance. Almost 70%. That is huge. With the crit hit damage 105%, so it's literally double the damage, right? And headshot damage is 55%. Those numbers right there, that's I'm kind of proud of that. Not too bad. Other than that, I just want to check out the survivability so I can show you that the resistance that I have. I got a little bit of everything on this. Bleed, blind, deaf, burn, disorient, disrupt, shock resistance. You're pretty much covered all over the board, at least a little bit. You know what I mean? You got a little bit more burn and shock resistance, which you'll probably be running into for the most part, other than bleed, which is pretty low, but it is what it is. And really, that's about it. So sorry I'm taking so long, guys, but this build is kind of complicated. Now, real quick, I'll just show you this for the people that are kind of just getting into this build. This is kind of like a template. Doesn't have to be exactly in this order or anything, but what I did was I rolled the chest piece for stamina and the knee pads for stamina, so you have 2 stamina. I have the backpack and gloves rolled for firearms, and I have the mask rolled for electronics with your holster obviously covering everything. Now, you can see the numbers there, 52, 55. Stamina is 52, 51, so that's a whole difference of 4. That's pretty damn close, I'd say. The electronics is trailing with 4,074, but, then you mod everything out, and you can, you can make it work and balance it as much as you can. And this is kind of just a good base point, I guess you could say. Now, I used that exact build, and I modded it out, and this is what I came out with. Firearms are at 5747, stamina is 5744, so again, a difference of 3, not bad at all, that's pretty close. With electronics still trailing with 4319. Now, I did that on purpose because if you read the 6-piece, which I'm sure we all have, but if you haven't, let's just take a look at it. Basically just says when all your primary stats are balanced, you get a rotating 10-second little personal signature skill. Okay, so every 6 seconds it's rotating, and then if everything is balanced, when it's activated, you get it for 10 seconds. Well, with this, everything is pretty well balanced, but that electronics is still off. I'm still getting a 7-second signature. 7-second signature, and I'm not dumping into electronics. The electronics that you dump into it is not going to be worth it. The skills are not going to go up that much of a difference to make a difference, to be honest. And I would rather have a 7-second signature with higher firearms and higher stamina for survivability compared to lower stamina and firearms with higher electronics, so just because to get a couple extra seconds. Not worth it to me, just my opinion, but this is how I'm working with it, and it has not really failed me too much since. And this is not optimized at all. I just kind of put it together and have been working with it. Works pretty good. So the weapons that I will be using, real quick, I know it's not a good idea to use a exotic because you can't share the talent on your secondary weapon, but I haven't really been swapping. I stick to the house for the most part. I have vicious, deadly, card counter, and competent. Competent, I think that is a huge thing for this build. Weapon damage is increased by 10% for 15 seconds after using a skill. We're always going to be using our skill. You're going to be throwing that pulse out there. Every time it comes back, and it comes back quick. Every time you pop your heal, even if you don't need to, hit your heal so that you get that increase. And then you got card counter, gives you an extra 20% with deadly, and you see everything just stacks. Everything just stacks real nice and smooth, and it works pretty good for me. And this Navy MP5 has fierce, responsive, and competent on it, so if I still need to, I can do work with it, but it's not optimal, obviously. I mean, the house. You can always put a assault rifle build, shotgun, whatever your preference is, I guess, really, but I like submachine guns just because the accuracy at close range, basically. That's my thing, and the house is king for that, in my opinion. So really, other than that, let's just take a look at the build here piece by piece. The chest piece is rolled for stamina with all resistance, got health on there with ammo capacity. You have to have that ammo capacity or you're going to burn up everything. It's like you got to have ammo on something at least. I recommend on both. I think on this build I just have the one, but either way, ammo or you're going to run out real quick. And specking for health because, again, we're squishy. So other than that, I have a firearms with skill haste mod on there. Actually, we got 2 of them with skill haste, so get your skills back as quick as you can. With the mask, I have rolled to electronics with crit hit chance and burn resistance because we always need that resistance building up. Electronics mod with health on it. Again, just get his health wherever you can. The knee pads rolled to stamina with health. I left that damage to elites just because when you go in PvE, this thing does awesome, and that extra 14% definitely does a big difference. This has a stamina with skill haste mod on there again, so you get that skill haste, and 6% first aid self-heal mod, so you can get that self-heal back as much as possible whenever you hit it, because again, we're squishy. Now, the holster, obviously, got everything across the board with crit hit chance on there, and I have a pulse crit hit damage mod on there. Just, again, trying to get that crit as much as you can. The gloves, I have rolled for firearms with crit hit chance, SMG damage, and crit hit damage. I mean, pretty good roll on that, I'd say. Not too bad. The backpack here, we have rolled to firearms with crit hit damage. I should have went with health, but honestly, as is, this build has been pretty sufficient. I haven't felt like the need, like, okay, I really need more health. If I did, I could always swap that out, but as of right there, you got that with the ammo capacity, so you got a lot of ammo. And I have a stamina with health mod, again, get more health, with 2 first aid self-heal mods. So again, you pop them heals and you're actually getting a decent heal. So really, guys, I mean, that's about it. I sorry that, the video took so long, but these new builds are a little bit more intricate compared to the older ones. So either way, if you enjoyed this video, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe for future content. It really does help me out, help the channel out a lot. And drop a comment down there, let me know what you're thinking about this build. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run over to Lexington. I'm going to run through the first part of them and show you how I get everything to proc and really work to your benefit to keep you alive pretty easy. So I'll meet you back there in just a second. Alright guys, so first things first, since I'm using an SMG class, I am going to have to close the distance a little bit more. If you have your assault rifle or anything else, whatever you like to use with distance, obviously you can stay a little bit farther away, but I like to get a little bit up close. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is how many things are proccing at once at the bottom of the screen there. It gets kind of comical at times. There's so many on there, but those are all the things that are keeping you alive. So what you want to do first, I'm going to pop that pulse, so now we're at that 68% whatever crit hit chance, and then just drain this guy. Take out one of them as quick as you can, because after that it's pretty much easy. You can just kind of run around, and I'm not even trying. We'll just kind of make our way through here. Come here, bud. And you can see the damage is through the roof. The crits that you're getting off of this, they go down like nothing. And I mean, look at that. Goodbye. And the survivability is pretty good. I mean, look at this. This guy's not doing nothing to me. Are you kidding? Get out. I know this is not like a boss or anything, but just per se, how long did that take? I mean, that was, I don't know how long that clip was, but I'd say it's not too bad. So, again, guys, if this helped you out in any way, shape, or form, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment down there. I really would be interested in seeing how you guys are running this. So, until next time, guys, you be good, and I'll see you then. Later.